Hey everyone, Joey here, and today we're going to be looking at an app called Clustertune, which lets you underclock your AYN Thor, your Odin 3, and I don't know if there's anything else, but those are the only two devices that I'm aware of. Today we're going to look at the AYN Thor and how it works with Clustertune. Now, I know I'm going to get asked about this, so I'll put a link in the description to how I did this. Long story short, I went to Staples, printed this off for like $1 and put it in my TPU shell. So I'll leave the link in the description to how I did it. I wrote it in a community post. But today we are going to look at Clustertune. So let's talk all about that. Very first thing you want to do is head over to the GitHub, which is just GitHub Aurelio B Clustertune. I'll put it in the description so you know what it is. Then you want to head over on the right and you're looking for releases. Just click the latest release. You'll see it right there. Just click it. As of today, it is May 10th. Scroll down and you want to grab the latest APK, which says right there, Clustertune APK. And we're going to download it and wait for it to download and then open it and install it. Now, I guess I should explain what this app actually does. And give me a second. We're going to add the tile to our quick settings. So Clustertune is an app that does a underclock for your AYN Thor. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, there's two main big reasons. First is less heat. Second, less fan noise. Those are basically the big reasons. So the general idea is you can underclock your AYN Thor to lose a little bit of performance, but greatly improve the less heat and less fan noise. So that's what we're going to look at today, is how much of an improvement actually is it? And you're going to see here we have three different underclocks. We have small, medium, and large, and then stock. Stock is what we're on right now. So if I go ahead and change it to a large underclock and I go apply, now we're using a very large underclock. This will be what we're going to focus on for today's video. How much of a difference does this actually make with the largest underclock in all these games? There might be times where we want to do small or medium, but we're going to focus on large for today. Let's go over to the settings, which is the top right. And you can change a few things with the appearance. We have added it to the quick settings. So what that is you scroll down, swipe over, and you can move this over to the very first one if you want, but you're gonna see here, Clustertune, large underclock. So you can click it through here and do what you need to do. You can also change it to cycle profiles through there. So if you wanna cycle it, or just open the app if you click that. So you have options. One other thing, if you are gonna use this app, you probably wanna enable for it to load the last profile on startup. So when you restart, Clustertune isn't going to show up by default. By clicking and enabling this, it will, and it'll just apply the last profile that you had, which would be the large underclock, which is what I selected. But we're done with that. That's all the settings that you need to know. So we have large underclock selected. Let's jump into a game and see what it looks like. Okay, so we have here Trails in the Sky first chapter. I picked a game that is a little bit harder to run on the AYN Thor because it doesn't hit 60 consistently. Right now we are at a 45 FPS, pretty much straight line. We're just standing around 45 FPS. We are at about a 57 temp, 58 in that range. This says 59, 60, whatever. 58, we're gonna say 59 for good measure. This is all on stock currently. So I have not done the underclock just yet. We are on stock. I'm gonna wait for it to just settle in. So 60 Celsius, 45 FPS is what we're gonna go with. Let's go ahead and change the underclock and see what it does. Okay, here is the underclock now on, and you're gonna see our FPS is pretty much stayed the same, 44, 45 FPS, still around the same, and our temperature has actually stayed the same as well. So this does not seem to be doing much for this specific game as of right now, from what I can tell. From what we had before to what we have now, exact same thing. I do wanna point out two things here. We are on the performance mode for power and smart fan mode. However, my smart fan does have a custom curve. So I'm going to show that off right now, just in case. Oh, we have to jump out because I have a per game setting. Jump in to edit. So this is my fan curve. It's a little bit different than default. I do imagine that on default, probably a little bit better of an upgrade there for heat. But we are on a custom fan mode. So just looking at it again, no difference here that I can see. We are still pretty much the exact same with the underclock from what we were at for stock. So let's test out a different game. Okay, next game is Sea of Stars. And this is a game I've actually been playing through GameHub. So I'm a few hours in, and it's pretty much always at 59, 60 FPS. So we're at 60, 59 in that range. Temperature-wise, 61, 62. It's generally what I stay at and what I've seen with my custom fan curve and everything. So about 61, 62. Let's go ahead and try the large underclock and see what happens. Okay, large underclock applied, and we are still staying in the 60s at the moment, 59, 60. Our temperature has dropped a few degrees. It was 61, 62 before. We're at 58, 59. So a negligible amount of degrees dropped. However, it did drop. So that's a good thing. Our power performance still the same. So there is an improvement here. And that does decrease the fan noise by 1%. So, I mean, there is an upgrade there. Is it a big upgrade? No, but it's there. Sea of Stars, I know using the large underclock, because I have tried it before, will dip from that 59, whereas stock doesn't. So just keep that in mind that this may need a small or medium underclock if you are planning to do it. But our temperature is lower than before by a few degrees, which is good. Let's try out a different game. Okay, we have Megabonk here, and I've actually taken off the frame limiter to put it to 120. So we went from 60 to 120. You can see we're at 119, basically standard 119 at the moment, 76, 77 temperature. So let's go ahead and do the large underclock, about 78 now. Let's go with the large underclock, see what happens. Okay, so we have the large underclock here now, and you can see our temperatures went down quite a bit. We're down to 69 Celsius now. Our frame rate did tank quite a bit too. So we're now at 99, 98, 97. There are a lot more things happening on screen, but it did come down quite a bit. We were at 119, 120. So we've gone down about 20 FPS, but we've also gone down about 10 Celsius at least from where we were before. Is that enough of a difference here? I mean, you're playing at 90 FPS, that's still pretty good, but now we have less heat, we have less fan noise. So for this game, it was a very big difference, and I'm going to die because I'm not paying attention to the game, but that doesn't matter. We're only here to care about the actual frame rate and stuff like that. This was a very big difference, but you can also see the downgrade that we got on the frame rate. So it is a give and take in this scenario. Let's go ahead and look at emulation next. Okay, here is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and you can tell that we are basically at the 30 FPS pretty much the entire time. And we're in the 66, 67 temperature, 68. I have been letting this run for a few minutes just so I can get to a stable part in this, but pretty much in the 66 to 68 range for temperature and 30 FPS. So we are good here. Let's go ahead and do the large underclock and see what happens. Okay, so large underclock has been applied. We are still at the 30 FPS mark for frame rate, and our temperature has dropped about 6 degrees. We're gonna go with 5 to 6, 63, 62. Yeah, 5 to 6 degrees. That is a decent increase, and we are still at the 30 FPS mark, so we didn't lose anything there. Game still plays great. This is a scenario where the underclock is doing pretty well, and we've dropped the fan noise by a few percent. So, like I said before, you are trading FPS for heat and fan noise, or less heat, less fan noise. And a lot of scenarios, it'll be like this, where you didn't lose anything from the frame rate because you were already capped to the 30 FPS mark. But now you're just getting lower temperature and lower fan noise. So that's pretty good. Let's go and look at PS2 now instead of Switch. Okay, so I opened up God of War. I don't remember where I am in the game, but I'm somewhere here with light. We are at a temperature at about 58, 59 Celsius, what I've been seeing it alternate between. Our frame rate is 60. We are running at a 3x with OpenGL. Actually, temperature's going up a little bit to 60. So let's say 60. We're gonna go 58 to 60. We're in that range. Let's go ahead and large underclock and see what happens. Okay, I've applied the large underclock and frame rate still. We're all set at 60. Temperature has gone down just a little bit, about 4 degrees or so, 3 or 4. Let's see where it settles in at, if it's gonna go a little bit lower or not. But it looks like 56 is where it wants to stay. So we have saved about 4 degrees, 3 or 4 degrees, and we have the same frame rate. Fan noise has gone down. So as far as the actual program goes, is there an increase in what you want? Yeah, absolutely. You are being able to play the same games at the same frame rate for lower heat, lower fan noise. Is it a massive difference? The answer is no, at least not from what I've seen and what we've tested here. I'm imagining that in some PC games, you could probably see larger increases, but we did see 10 degrees difference. So that is pretty massive. Will you see 20 degrees difference? Probably not. I can't imagine a scenario where that would happen, but 10 degrees difference is a big difference. And the only difference there is you go from 120 to 100 FPS with Megabonk. So you are losing frame rate for less heat, less fan noise. So there's always going to be a trade-off here. Is this something that you want to run all the time? My answer is probably no. I don't see a reason why you would. You could try that if you wanted to. I don't see many negatives here. The only problem is if there's going to be games that are just hitting 60 on stock and you go large underclock, then now you're going to be under 60. The game isn't going to run as well. And that might be a negative there. So just keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. If you are going to keep the large underclock on forever, that if a game isn't running that well, then you might want to just turn it off and then wait. There is no per game, per app underclock that I'm aware of, so you are going to have to turn it off and on by yourself. You can do through the quick settings. It is easy through there. But that is kind of it for today. I wanted to take a very quick look at this. I did test this out a few weeks ago, and my conclusions were pretty much the same as today. It is something that's really cool. It is something that has very specific use cases, but it is net increases in the things that matter, which is the less heat, the less fan noise. So if that matters to you, you might want to check this out. And again, I have it here as a quick settings toggle that if I was going to use this forever, I would probably move, but you can just tap it to cycle or open the app and make it easy through there. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. So I want to know, I know that a lot of people have been using Clustertune for their Odin 3s for a long while now. Have you tried it on the AYN Thor? What are your thoughts? And have you seen better increases or differences than what I've seen? That's what I want to know. So let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want to install it, I'll leave everything in the description so you can check it out. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about retro handhelds. And hope you all have a good one.